So I was watching my favorite YouTuber playing Fortnite like usual, when I came across this video titled, "I'm making the best pirate game on Roblox," and I'm like, hold up, that's not Rell Seas. So today I'm reacting to it because 1, it actually looks insane, and 2, I'm out of content, so let's go.
Pirate games have always been very difficult to make. AAA studios spend hundreds of millions of dollars on games that completely fail. Even Sea of Thieves is full of hackers nowadays.
Yeah, that's actually valid. The amount of money they invested in Grow a Garden compared to all the other games that it beat in the amount of players it had is crazy. Like, Grow a Garden had 16 million players and Fortnite peaked at around 14 million.
Making it completely unplayable. So I decided to take it into my own hands to create the greatest pirate game ever on Roblox. A salty trip will seriously bring back the joy in playing pirate games with friends. There are so many cool features.
Are there even any pirate games on Roblox? I know there's been Arcane Odyssey, which has ships. But other than that, of course there's gonna be Rell Seas too, but other than that, this might be the first. And this level of quality is insane.
Features that I'll go through in detail throughout this video, like dynamic food and hunger, advanced weather, the crazy water buoyancy, and ship punting systems.
Yeah, that physics is tough. That physics right there is tough. I don't even think Rell Seas.
The crazy water.
I don't even think Rell Seas is gonna have this stuff of physics. Actually, probably is, but it's not gonna have all these things.
Punting systems, and of course,
this is probably not gonna be an anime RPG. This is probably gonna be like Dead Rails, but like Dead Sails.
Fully functioning Sea of Thieves inspired sloop. But first, you gotta like the video, subscribe, and join the Discord down below. It really helps me out as a solo dev.
A solo dev? Never mind, guys. We ain't never seeing this game. I'm joking.
And you get to stay up to date with the latest news on a salty trip. We'll start by talking about the sloop and the start of the game. You and your friends will go around the beginner island and pick up scattered ship parts,
Is this game gonna be working on mobile? Because I know a lot of y'all are mobile. This game about to burn your phone.
Anchor, cannon, helm, and as you near the placement spot on the ship, it'll highlight it for you. You just gotta press C to weld it to the ship, and boom, ready to be used.
Yeah, so basically Dead Rails.
Just
it's literally basically like Dead Rails or a Dusty Trip.
Like an actual pirate ship. The helmsman can easily change the direction of the ship. Your friends...
That water is actually tough. Do you see that water?
Use just like an actual pirate ship. The helmsman can easily change the direction of the ship. Your friends can fully control the mast direction, left and right, but also can hoist and lower the sail at will to catch wind, speeding things up. Getting this to work was an absolute nightmare, but I'm super happy with how it turned out. It's honestly something even crazier than the sail is the anchor. It's really nice to use. When the anchor is down, the ship is unable to move, and to raise the anchor, you need to push things up manually. There's an indicator in the center along with the sound cue for when it's all the way.
Oh, so there's gonna be multiple people driving the ship. Like, one person is gonna be on the left, somewhere there, and on the right, and they're like pulling the sails to move the ship. That's tough. That's a tough idea. I'm not lying.
This process could be 4 times faster with your whole crew helping too. Then, let's say you just want to drop the anchor, just release, and boom, it's down again. The cannons are going to be super fun. As you can see, I have tons of control.
Nah, cannons are OP in every game. Whenever I play Deep Ocean, I always spam the cannons against someone who's not on a ship, and he can't do anything. It is OP.
I haven't set anything up yet. The camera position isn't where I want it to be. I want it to follow the cannon. Along with firing VFX that hasn't been imported yet. We also want to be able to fire any object you pick up. You could also fire yourself if you want to.
I'm gonna fire you if you don't subscribe.
So it's gonna be really cool. The ship completely reacts to the wave.
How many different islands are there gonna be within the game? Because you know how in Dead Rails, you know where to go. You go in a straight line, and there's villages and cities to the left and to the right of you. But in this case, there's gotta be a lot of different islands for it to not get boring. And they also gotta be kind of scattered in the same direction, so you actually know where to go. Because otherwise, you'll be confused and it would not be a good game.
And handles items dropped on it really well, so you have nothing to worry about there. And unlike other games like Dead Rails, when I actually jump while the ship is moving, I don't fly backwards. My ship planting system is very, very phenomenal, so nothing like that will happen. Without getting...
This is what I'm talking about, Rell Seas, and none of y'all understand. Basically, if you jump, you move with it.
Too much into the water system again.
Rell Seas is also gonna have that.
Improved it to allow for the wave intensity to be lower near islands, the wave intensity to be middle of the road in deep waters, and super high when storms hit. So it's very dynamic. The way I've made the systems allow for crazy things like this attack from the Kraken boss that carry...
Nah, that is actually crazy. I've never seen something like that on Roblox. The physics, you see how the ship is moving in every direction? That is insane for Roblox. How will you even fight against that? With cannons?
which will all be really exciting. But this is still awesome for now, in my opinion. Now let's touch on the dynamic eating I've made. In other games like Sea of Thieves, when you eat, it consumes the whole fruit. But in games like Raft, when you eat it, it consumes portions of the fruit. Although the whole fruit is still visible, like in this melon. But in our game, the fruits have multiple uses and visually change depending on how much is left. We have dozens of fruits, and I thought this was just a really cool feature to include. Ignore my melon collection, by the way. I like melons. Another cool thing we have is the animated UI. The UI designs you see here are not final, and we absolutely might not even use them. But the UI designer is my brother, and he does animated UI, so I think it's going to be really cool and can add a little spice.
Wait, what a move game?
Designer is my brother.
I hate that game.
And he does.
I hate that game.
Animated UI, so I think it's gonna be really cool and can add a little spice to the player's experience. The weather experience will also be great. We'll have deep storm, lava islands, but all of that is still in the works. The Kraken boss is nearly done too. We have all the animations as you see here, and the core logic scripting wise is all done. All that's left is to do the easy stuff. So next video, you might actually see a fully functioning Kraken boss. This Kraken boss will absolutely...
The reason why this game is interesting is because it's not like an anime RPG like Rell Seas. So that means it does not take that much testing. And it's possible to get the game released sooner. Because you know how every anime RPG developer is. They never releasing their game. But this game, something similar to Dead Rails, might actually be releasing.
It'd be better than the one in Sea of Thieves.
One day.
But by the way, his name's Bob. So say hi to Bob in the comments below. When a player dies, they'll leave a tombstone behind, allowing the players remaining to
how are they gonna leave a tombstone in the water?
Revive them or collect their loot. Dead players will be sent to this death screen where you'll be able to get revives for yourself or for your whole team. Check all your stats.
Nah, the graphics is crazy.
See the odds of the events you encountered. But to actually describe what the game's about, A Salty Trip is a game where you go island to island, traveling long distances, seeing unique and rare events and items, all while collecting doubloons to acquire and upgrade different classes that are available, much like Dead Rails or The Long Drive. I have plans.
Yeah, so Dead Rails but on water and possibly better, because Dead Rails was a fun game at first, probably for like 3 weeks, and then it was just not fun. It was just too repetitive with trains and all of that.
To make the game eventually open world like Sea of Thieves, but much like my plan with Peak Seas, this is just too large of a task for a solo dev, so I'll need to postpone both to focus on this slightly narrower and achievable goal. Really cool features we're super close to completing are fishing, so when your friends are on the ship doing the ship tasks, you're able to fish, collect some extra gold and the balloons on the side, and see what rare fish you could get. We'll also have barrels just spread throughout the water. They'll be infrequent, but you'll be able to collect them, and there's different rarities, just so you don't have to go to an island every single time to acquire some loot. We already have combat in the work, and it's nearly complete as well, so the next...
But how are ships gonna be moving? Is it gonna be like in a straight direction? Because how are you gonna be placing all the islands so you know where to go?
More than likely going to see that along with a completed Kraken boss. We want players to be able to experience something unique every few runs, if not every single run.
Tough physics though, tough physics.
Things like frog rain, where literally frogs just rain from the sky.
Imagine frogs raining from the sky, and if all of them are like detailed, that is gonna burn your PC. I'm not even lying.
The Bullet Boy event, which is a sea train that crosses the surface of the ocean, dropping loot on its way till you could finally pass. There will also be unique items that you could store in your collectibles chest so you could have them when you return to the lobby, and much more. There will be daily and weekly quests along with a multitude of different achievements that you could do just to keep the gameplay fresh and something to look forward to. NPCs will also have animated 2D faces, which just makes everything feel so much more alive and is super performant as well. What you're seeing here
is that from solo leveling?
Just examples and to show the potential of these 2D animated faces. I think they're really cool personally.
Is there any other game that has that, the 2D faces? I don't know if Rell Seas is gonna have that. Probably not.
Almost forgot to mention our omnidirectional.
Nah, that might actually cook the optimization. Imagine you're a mobile playing this.
Directional movement system. We can move in 8 different directions, allowing for fluid transitions rather than this choppy left-right. So your player could actually move diagonally, and it's just so much more visually appealing this way. We applied this to flight, to swimming, to running. It makes movement just so much cleaner. I also made sure to include my inverse kinematic system. So when I have one foot on a step, my other foot is actually off the step. I've even went further, so if you have one foot on sand and one foot on grass, you have 2 different sound effects. So it's super immersive. I believe little
That's tough, that's tough. Because like in every game, no one bothers to do any of that. They just use the old Roblox animations, which are not that good.
Details like this is really what makes a game special, so I hope you guys appreciate stuff like it. What I'm about to tell you might not make it into the final cut, but we know we will include buried treasure hidden on islands, but we really want to utilize our terrain destruction and regeneration system that I
So islands are going to be regenerating?
And my game
That's interesting.
Which, by the way, thank you. It was just a demo, but I'll go over the stats in another video and how much the support has helped. But yeah, including that terrain regeneration and digging system would be massive. You might be wondering why I mentioned flight,
and you know what else is massive?
In a pirate game. There's going to be a unique type of item that will allow you to actually fly. You could use this for escape. Maybe you want to move to an island quickly,
you can
even
fly.
though you would have to go back. The time you're allowed to fly for is not long, so make sure you use it wisely. But regardless of how you use it, it's super fun. Here's a behind the scenes look of what the Gerstner waves are like with the skin off. It's super complicated, but also
oh hell nah, that's gonna fry your PC.
Hyper performant. I spent the better part of 3, maybe 4 years even trying to perfect these waves, so I'm really glad I could finally use them in a game where that's the main focus. Shows like One Piece and movies like the Pirates of the Caribbean have been massive inspirations for me, and it fueled my desire to produce an amazing pirate game. I think I'm doing that, and with your help, if you'd like, subscribe and join the Discord down below, and also check out the Patreon. It'll be massive. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.
Tough game, I really liked it. Tough game, not gonna lie. Coming in 2045. Honestly, it might come out sooner because it's not an RPG anime based like fighting. Honestly, the game has a ton of potential. It's not an anime RPG where you actually fight like Rell Seas, Runeslayer and Type Soul, but I still play a ton of slop on Roblox, so I will for sure play that game if it ever releases. It seems like an interesting game because none of us have ever seen something like that on Roblox. Like and subscribe, and see you all in the next one.